Kyle Brown, and I am the owner of Stay Fresh Hair Studio. And welcome to Fresh University, where I teach you how to retain clients, create a client memorable experience so that you are profitable behind the chair or in whatever sales aspect that you are in. Welcome to Fresh University. So today we're talking about how your story influences your client experience. And we're going to simply begin with the beginning, my story. So it was 2004 and I had just come home from college. I had had a baby and I needed a job, and I had worked several jobs, but I really hated the aspect of having to punch in, ask somebody for vacation, all of the stuff that doesn't give you freedom. And so at the time I was getting my hair cut at this barbershop in Aurora, Illinois, where I'm from. And I told the owner, I said, hey, listen, I would really like to cut hair. I've been cutting hair for a couple of years, and I think that this is something that I want to pursue. So he's like, cool, bring your clippers next week. I'll have you do a couple haircuts, and we'll go from there. So that next week rolled around, I brought my clippers. Guy walks in, do a bald fade. Another guy walks in, I do a taper. Everything seems to be going great. He's like, cool, you can cut. You actually cut really well. You're hired. You can start whenever you want to. I was like, cool. I think like tomorrow would be great. So I started working at this shop. Now, mind you, this is in the early 2000s where, no one's really taking appointments. A lot of service is walk in. You could call and say, hey, I'm on my way, but that never guaranteed you an appointment, right? Unless you were paying, over and above. But for the most part, it was a lot of walk-in service. And so I'm the green barber. I am, closest to the door, which is usually, the spot where, someone inexperienced is. And so I'm trying to hustle up my clientele or build a clientele, I should say. And it never crossed my mind, about the experience of the client. And that really was taught to me by what I saw, right? And what I saw was, when a person walked through the door, it's like, hey, do you need a haircut? I got you. That was the experience. And then it was down to how fast I can get you out of the door to get to the next client. So I never thought about creating a client experience. I was always just trying to be faster than the next person to get to that next walk-in. So in this particular day, this kid walks in, mixed kid, curly hair. He says, hey, I want to cut my hair down to an afro. And I'm like, cool, like let's get it. It's Saturday, it's packed. I know I got to move fast. I had booth rent due that week, and so my goal was just to get this kid in and out. It turned out to be a lot harder than I suspected, though, because I was used to cutting one type of hair, coarse, coily hair, and this kid was mixed, Hispanic, Puerto Rican, maybe black. So his hair was all over the place. Like, it was curly, it was straight, it was kind of coarse. I didn't know, like, I needed to pick it out. I needed, like, all these things. All I know is that I need to get this kid in and out so I can get to the next person. And so I get him in the chair, I drape him, I say, hey, what do you want? He's like, I want a fro. I'm like, cool. So I'm doing my thing. I'm cutting him up. 30 minutes goes by, still cutting him up. 45 minutes goes by, still cutting them up. 60 minutes goes by. I am sweating bullets now because I realize that I'm in too deep. And this is one of the things that, you get humbled by as a young barber, is knowing your strengths and weaknesses. Like, I really should have passed on this haircut and let somebody more experienced do this, because what happens next is I butchered the haircut. It is absolutely terrible. And, the kid pays me. I ask him, does he like it? He's like, I guess. It's cut. I don't know. So in my mind, I'm off to the next haircut because, again, booth rent is due today. And so not even 5 minutes later, this Puerto Rican woman walks in, and it's a packed shop. Like, I don't want you to forget that. This is early 2000s. Baggy jeans, oversized t-shirts, and barbershops packed on Saturday mornings. And so she walks in and she says, "Who the F cut my son's hair?" As only a Puerto Rican woman could, right? And the whole shop comes to a screeching halt because everybody knows who the F just cut her son's hair. And so they're looking at me, but they also don't want to rat me out too quick because they want to hear what she has to say. And so the owner is like, "Hey, what's going on? What's the problem?" And she lets him have it. She's like, "Yo, my son's haircut looks terrible. I don't want to pay for this. This is not what I came down here for. He's never looked this bad." And as you can imagine, I am shrinking back and I'm trying to just find a space in the universe to disappear into. Luckily, there's none. So I have to stand there and listen to this. So the owner's like, "Hey, listen, no problem. I'll fix it, send them back in. You know, you don't have to pay anything extra, blah, 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 blah." So she's like, whatever. As she's walking out of the door, some mother instinct just tells her to scan the room one more time. And by this time, I think I had maybe hidden behind my chair. And she's like, you're the one who effed up my son's hair. And I'm saying it very nicely because I'm really trying not to cuss anymore. But let's just say she made me quit. She cussed me clean out in front of everybody in that shop that day. And so from that point on, I didn't know it, but that was a terrible experience for that client. Whether or not, I knew what I was doing, the experience that he had was not good. And honestly, I don't think I ever saw him again. And I think that's a lot of mistakes that people are making today. With the widespread of barbering, people have so many choices to choose from that we don't really take into account how the client feels when they come into our space. And that's a big part of selling your service, is how you make someone feel. And so if you're not concerned about their needs, if you're not asking questions to get answers on how they want to look, if you're only looking at them as a dollar sign, then I can guarantee you that customer will never be a client. They will only come in for the one time, and if you do a decent job, they'll use you in a pinch. But the problem is that you can't create a clientele base by treating people that way. And so over the years, I want to teach you all of my experiences. I want to use my pain for your benefit so that you know how to create an experience, a space, how to talk to people, how to treat disgruntled clients, how to handle missed appointments, all of these things that go into the service of providing a haircut. So if you're ready to dive in with me, listen, subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with somebody, and let's get ready to make a difference in 2025 and become the best barber you can be without focusing on how good your haircut is. Don't worry about the amount you're charging. Let's focus on treating people well, creating an excellent experience for them so that they not only come back, but they tell other people about you. If you're ready for that, then I think I'm the guy that you want to stick around with. Again, my name is Kyle Brown, and this is Fresh University. Let's go.